What if the key to your own happiness lies in the act of lifting others up? What if, by giving, you receive something far greater than you could ever imagine? Mencius, the ancient Chinese philosopher, once said, "By nurturing others, you nurture your own soul." These words carry a profound truth, one that resonates across time and speaks to the heart of what it means to grow as a person. They remind us that our deepest fulfillment comes not from what we take, but from what we share. Today, let's explore how nurturing others can transform not just their lives, but our own, filling our souls with purpose and hope. Life, however, can make it hard to see this truth. We live in a world that often feels divided, where self-interest seems to dominate. The demands of daily life, work, bills, personal struggles, can leave us feeling drained, with little energy to give to others. We're bombarded with messages that tell us to focus on ourselves, to chase success, to protect our own interests. It's easy to become guarded, to pull back, to believe that we have nothing left to offer. Loneliness creeps in, even in crowded rooms. We feel disconnected, not just from others, but from our own sense of meaning. The weight of our challenges, stress, uncertainty, fear, can make the idea of nurturing others feel like an impossible task. And yet, deep inside, we yearn for connection, for a sense of purpose that goes beyond our own needs. Mencius offers us a different perspective, a way to break free from this cycle. His words suggest that nurturing others isn't just an act of kindness. It's a path to personal growth. To nurture is to care, to listen, to offer support, to help someone else flourish. But Mencius goes deeper. He tells us that when we do this, we're also nurturing ourselves. It's as if the act of giving completes a circle, filling our own souls with meaning. This isn't about grand gestures or sacrificing everything. It's about small, intentional acts, offering a kind word, lending a hand, showing someone they're not alone. When we nurture others, we tap into our own humanity. We discover that our capacity to give reflects our strength, our compassion, our ability to grow. Each act of care plants a seed, not just in someone else's life, but in our own, cultivating joy, connection, and a sense of purpose that no amount of self-focused striving can match. To understand the roots of this wisdom, let's step back to ancient China, where Mencius lived over 2,300 years ago. Known as Mengzi in Chinese, he was a Confucian philosopher who built on the teachings of Confucius himself. Born during the Warring States period, a time of conflict and instability, Mencius lived in a world where trust and cooperation were often in short supply. Yet he believed fiercely in the goodness of human nature. He taught that every person is born with the seeds of compassion, righteousness, and wisdom, what he called the four sprouts. Nurturing these sprouts, both in ourselves and others, was the key to a meaningful life. Mencius traveled from state to state, advising rulers and teaching his philosophy. He argued that true leadership and true happiness came from caring for others, from fostering their well-being as if it were your own. His teachings, recorded in the Book of Mencius, remain a cornerstone of Chinese thought, offering timeless insights into the power of human connection. Now, let me share a story about a woman named Clara, who lived in a small coastal town. Clara was a single mother, working long hours as a nurse to provide for her teenage son, Liam. Life hadn't been easy. Her marriage had ended years ago, and the demands of her job left her exhausted. Clara felt like she was always running, always trying to keep up, with little time for herself. She loved Liam, but their relationship had grown strained. He was withdrawing, spending hours alone in his room. Clara felt powerless, disconnected, like she was failing as a mother. One day, At the hospital, she overheard a colleague mention a local youth center struggling to stay open due to lack of volunteers. On a whim, Clara signed up, thinking it might be a way to connect with Liam. She started spending her weekends there, organizing activities for the kids, many of whom came from tough backgrounds. At first, Liam refused to join her, but Clara kept going, drawn to the energy of the kids and their stories. She listened to them, laughed with them, helped them with homework. Slowly, she noticed something shifting inside her. The weight of her own worries began to lift. She felt lighter, more present, as if she was rediscovering a part of herself she'd forgotten. One evening, Liam showed up at the center, curious about what kept his mom so engaged. He started helping out, and over time, they began talking again, really talking. Through nurturing the kids at the center, Clara not only rebuilt her bond with Liam, but found a renewed sense of purpose. She realized that by giving to others, she was healing her own soul, filling it with a warmth she hadn't felt in years. What can we learn from Clara's story, from Mencius's timeless wisdom? The lesson is simple yet profound. Nurturing others is a gift we give ourselves. It's a reminder that we're all connected, that our growth as individuals is intertwined with the growth of those around us. Personal growth isn't just about improving ourselves in isolation. It's about how we show up for others, how we contribute to their lives. When we nurture someone else, whether through a kind gesture, a moment of empathy, or a helping hand, we're also nurturing our own capacity for love, for resilience, for hope. This doesn't mean ignoring our own needs. It means recognizing that caring for others and caring for ourselves are not separate acts. They're one and the same. So how do we start? Begin where you are, with what you have. Look around you today. Who needs a little nurturing? Maybe it's a friend who's struggling, a coworker who feels unseen, or even a stranger who could use a smile. Offer something small, a compliment, a listening ear, a moment of your time. These acts don't require wealth or power, just intention. And as you give, notice how it feels. Notice the warmth that grows inside you, the sense of connection that replaces isolation. If you're feeling depleted, start even smaller. Write a note of gratitude to someone, volunteer an hour of your time, or simply be fully present with the people in your life. Mencius believed that our compassion is like a sprout, waiting to grow. Water it with small acts of kindness, and watch it flourish. The beauty of this philosophy is that it's universal. No matter your circumstances, you have the power to nurture others. And in doing so, you'll find that your own soul begins to heal, to expand, to shine. In a world that can feel fragmented, this is how we build bridges, through care, through connection, through the quiet strength of giving. Mencius's words remind us that our greatest growth comes not from what we achieve for ourselves, but from what we share with others. So let's make a choice today. Let's choose to nurture, to lift up, to give a little more than we take. Let's trust that each act of kindness, no matter how small, is a step toward a fuller, richer life. Because when we nurture others, we don't just change their world, we transform our own. And in that transformation, we find hope, purpose, and a soul that's truly alive.